Hello and welcome back to this week of our Georgian farmhouse renovation. When we first viewed this house, the estate agent said that he thought it was from around the 1800s, and we've recently discovered a few original looking features like this possible lead paint and these floorboards under the living room carpet. With it being such an old house, we knew there'd be plenty of stories to find out. Now, during this renovation, we're trying to honour its Georgian history, so sometimes that means trying to put features back that would have originally been there. So to be able to do that and to find out what secrets these walls are hiding, we need to do some research. And what I found out is that our house actually dates back to around 1790. So since we're talking almost 300 years ago, the house has changed a lot over that time, but also has seen probably a lot and had a lot of people live here, maybe die here. More on that later. From looking at Georgian architecture, it's likely that our current snug was a gentleman's cigar room. Fancy. And on an evening, these men will have just been sitting in here chilling, whilst the 4 servants that I found will have been upstairs in the attic, which has no windows. There were many people I found who lived here, including a 6-year-old girl in the early 1800s who I followed through the census and she became a seamstress. But there was also a young man called Robert and he died just aged 26. So in a time when most people died at home, what is actually hiding behind these walls? There are still plenty of original features left in the house and possibly plenty more to find. It's easy to imagine a parent in 1801 avoiding the creaky floorboard in the hallway that I also now avoid so as not to wake up Everly. And to be honest, we feel proud and we feel really grateful that we are able to now be part of the history of this house. We're adding to years and years of people and memories, and if you believe in that kind of thing, possibly people who never left. Yeah, so it's a funny one because I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not. When I was younger, I did, very much so. And then, I don't know, as I got older, I started to think like, no, we die and we're gone, that's it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. So, I mean, no one does, right? We have no idea. So I think if anything happens that was slightly kind of weird, I approach it with like 2 mindsets, I guess. So one of them would be like, well, there's just a reasonable explanation for that. That doesn't mean ghosts exist. And I'll think maybe it was, I don't know, something to do with my imagination or a lapse in brain thing. So yes, sometimes. But then I can also think, what's that? But then I can also think, but what if? Do you know what I mean? What if? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. So maybe there is a ghost lingering in the walls, or 2 or 3. Hello. Let me tell you what has happened in this house. A couple of weird things where again I've thought like, did I imagine that, or was that like what was that? What was that? And I can't really think of an explanation for it. So the first thing that happened was on an evening and John had gone to the football and I was sitting at the dining table with my back to the kitchen door where the hallway and the front door is, and we heard, me and Monty, the dog, we heard the front door open and close, right? So I just assumed John's back from the football. Monty definitely heard it. I didn't imagine it because Monty got up and started barking because he obviously heard the door. And I was like, just chill out, man. It's just John, chill out. So then I was doing some marking and I just felt like a tap, tap, tap on the back of my head. And again, I was busy and I assumed it was John. So I just laughed and then turned around and there was nobody there. So that was weird. That was very weird. I don't know, because how do you explain that otherwise? Do you know what I mean? How do you explain that otherwise? I don't know. And secondly, I've done lots of research, countless hours in the library and the archives, and I found many people, many families who've lived here over time. A few of them have died in the house. And the other day I was in the hallway whilst John is currently renovating it, which we will get to. And I was talking to him and I was in the hallway and the playroom was here to my left. And I just saw a red figure, like somebody just dressed in red standing there. And I looked And I thought, what is happening here? And then like I kind of like blinked and then it had gone. And again, I did think, like, have I just seen something out of the corner of my eye that's almost, I don't know, visually made the illusion of looking like a person? Because we have that ingrained in our minds, don't we, that we find faces and we find things like that. But I didn't see a face. I just saw the height of a person, like, I don't know, kind of a bit taller than me, I guess. So like a woman, I guess. I don't know. And maybe I'm being haunted. But to be honest, I've only ever felt nice vibes. Maybe somebody was just patting me on the head to say, hello, mate, you're all right there, darling. And I was like, yeah, cool, you. Maybe we're just all friends. Maybe me and the ghosts, we're just all jolly good pals. Next week, next Sunday, I'm going to do a full house tour. We have 18 rooms in this house, and so far we've renovated 4 of them. I've shown you 2. Showed you 2. And yeah, we'll be getting to the kitchen and the bathroom and then the hallway, which we're currently in the middle of, very, very soon. So I'll give you a full house tour next week. If you want to see it, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what they say, and it always feels like I'm pretending to be somebody else. But seriously, if you want to see it, you have to subscribe, don't you? And then you know. So it kind of makes sense why people say that sort of stuff. I'm going to shut up now, but thanks for watching. See you later.